Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Tyto Ecology. This is the first time that we're loading up our desert biome since the big art update, so we have a ton of new things to look at here. But the one thing that has definitely changed in this biome is the fact that there are no more snakes. I don't see a single snake slithering around in the grass, so I don't think that any of their territories are invisible this time, like we have had trouble with in the past. I think they have actually been killed off. All of those little tiny baby snakes that were slithering around here seem to be completely gone right now, so that's good. We obviously did something right last time we were here, so that is very good to see. I was kind of expecting that we would have another outbreak in the desert biome here when we came back, but it looks like everything is okay. There we go. All of those snakes. Oh my goodness. We had so many groups of snakes in here and they all died off. So there we go. There we go. We don't have to worry about those guys anymore, but we do have to kind of repopulate the area because it does seem like these predators that we placed in here may have eaten away at a lot of the herbivores that we had to begin with. It doesn't look like there's any jackrabbits left in the area, though I believe the snakes were kind of killing those off anyway, so they might have had a little bit of something to do with that. We'll go in here and take a look at what we can add in, though. The deer mice. I'm always so leery about adding in the deer mice. That was actually what started the situation, because I wanted to make sure that something in the area could eat the deer mice if they got out of control, so I added in a bunch of snakes. And look what happened, guys. All of those snakes kind of went out of control, so there is definitely a little balance that we have to find in the desert here, but we'll place one group of deer mice up here in front of all of this grass so they have plenty to munch on. And we have this group of bobcats who's currently darting straight over there. Oh my goodness, he must have been quite hungry. Oh my gosh, he really was. It's a good thing that we put these deer mice in here because they definitely needed something to eat. I have a feeling most of the predators in here are going to be the same. And there he goes, right to the mice, just like a cat should. Going straight over to the mice to munch on them right now. And they curl up for a nap too, which is adorable. The badgers, I believe, are omnivores. Yes, they are. So they shouldn't be having any trouble. They can munch on all of the grass and the berries that are in the area. So they don't particularly need meat to survive, which is good. That's why they're one of the only creatures who are still left in the biome right now. We'll add some jackrabbits over here too. There's not much grass over here, so I'm not really sure if we should add them in this location. I might stick to keeping them in Zone 1 for now because there's so much more grass in the area. They have had a lot more time to spread around while we were gone because, of course, we started in Zone 1. It looks like something is down here. Is that our badger? I think it is. Our badger is like sleeping right next to all of these little bunnies. I have a feeling that he would wake up and try to grab one of these if he could. The badgers are definitely good for the snakes, though, so I have a feeling that they helped out, too, while we were gone anyway, because, of course, 6 whole months passed in this biome while we were gone, so plenty of time for all of these predators to go ahead and munch away at all of the snakes who were in here, and the coyotes, too. I would really like to add the coyotes in, but I think what I would like to do is open up Zone 3 before we do that. We're going to give them a little bit more space to roam around instead of cramping all of these predators in one location. The coyote would probably be very good in keeping all of these things under control, though. And the deer, too. I think I'd like to put the deer in just for our larger predators anyway. Like, maybe if we add the cougar in. Oh my goodness, and we have so many more things to unlock as well, like the desert tortoise and the coral snake. Oh my goodness, a desert kangaroo rat as well. That will be interesting to place in here. Hopefully they won't go out of control like our deer mice, though. They are rodents, so I have a feeling that they are probably going to reproduce a little bit faster than most other creatures in here. But let's see, let's place another group of armadillos in here as well, and they are insectivores, so we need to make sure that they have plenty of insects to eat in the area. I think right here should be pretty good. It looks like they have 2 groups of moths, they have these honeybees over here, and they also have some earthworms, so I think they'll be happy in this location. And then we can place a little bit more grass in here before we think about maybe adding another group of jackrabbits to the area for our little bobcats, because I think they would appreciate that, something a little bit bigger for them to eat other than all of those tiny little mice. And actually, they're probably going to completely obliterate this group of mice. I mean, I shouldn't complain because we don't want them to go out of control anyway, but they probably will just completely wipe them off the face of this biome before we know it. So the more little herbivores that we have in the area, the more our bobcats will be able to eat, as well as our coyotes, because we are going to try to add those in as well pretty soon. And I think I might add another group of ants over here too, because I just noticed that we don't really have many ants on this side of the biome, it looks like. And the ants are very helpful because they are going to take care of all of the carcasses that start popping up as our little bobcats move around and start eating more. So we'll place the ants over here, so they should be able to take care of most of this side of the biome over here. And I don't think, the armadillos can't reach them from that location, so they shouldn't be able to destroy that little ant colony, but we'll place another one right here, just in case a couple of these armadillos are very partial to ants. You never know. They might really enjoy snacking on some ants, and it looks like their colony hasn't fully been formed yet. It seems like it's underground at the moment, so you can't really see where it is right now, but that's okay. I think next what we'll do is unlock that Zone 3 over there. After I place another group of jackrabbits in here, of course, we'll place them right in the middle of all this grass we just added, right next to our bobcats too, which is a little bit unfortunate for them, but they will be able to eat now. The bobcats will be able to eat. And now we'll go into our little map and unlock Zone 3, I think. There we go. We have so many Tyto coins, guys, from all of the biomes that we're currently taking care of. We have gotten so many Tyto coins, so we don't have to worry about the cost of that at all. And now we have fish in the area too, so if any of the predators like to eat fish, then they should be able to do that. Of course, first we're going to have to build up the place, and I'm thinking hopefully we can place some cactuses over here. Some cacti, actually, I think is how you would actually say that. Because we definitely need a cactus in this biome. It is the desert biome after all, so you would expect there would be a lot of different types of cacti in the area. So we'll unlock this one, the beaver tail cactus too, and this one as well. So we're going to have 3 different cactuses to place around the biome today, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. These actually place down 3 at a time. So, oh my gosh, they're so tiny. They're so tiny little cactus here. Oh my gosh, how adorable are these? Oh my goodness, they're going to get lost in the desert biome though, because they are so small. As soon as we start placing grass in here too, they are just going to get swallowed up by all of the things that we have in here. So let's place a couple more of these around here, and it looks like they have a buff too. It says this producer is tough to eat as an adult. It can only be eaten by consumers with an eats tough buff. So that's something to keep in mind. It makes sense though, because you wouldn't expect that many creatures would be able to munch on cactuses or cacti. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm going to have trouble remembering that with all of those prickly little spines. And look at that. This one is tiny too. Oh my goodness, these tiny little plants. That is adorable. I kind of expected the cactus to be a little bit larger, and I have a feeling the other one that we unlocked right here is going to be quite big. We'll speed up the time so we can actually place it in here, because it's going to take a little bit more impact points for us to get to that. But while we're waiting, we might as well take a look at some of the grass, because we do need grass in here as well. That would probably be a good thing. If the cactus is so hard for some of the herbivores to eat, then we definitely want to make sure they have different selections of food for them in this area. So we'll place some of this grass in here. And like I said, it's just getting lost. I mean, it's smaller than the grass, these little clumps of grass. That is adorable. Such tiny little plants there. Maybe if we place some of the pollinators in the area, they'll be able to help the little plants spread as well. So that would be a good idea to do. But for now, let's just place a couple more of these patches of grass in here. And I think we have enough Tyto or impact points to unlock this cactus over here. So there we go. Let's see how big this is. There we go. That is what I was expecting. This huge cactus here. Oh my goodness, you are so much bigger than the other ones, and this is what I am used to seeing in desert biomes anyway, so that is definitely pretty cool. Right by the water side too, which is kind of bizarre. We'll definitely have to place a few more of those in different locations down the line, because it doesn't really seem like the grass spread too well here, so we don't really have to worry about not being able to find a place to put all of this stuff. Just like in the grasslands, I mean, there is nowhere to place trees in the grasslands because we have so much grass there, which does make sense. It is the grasslands, but it would be nice if we could place a couple more trees in the area. We kind of have to wait for those really awful situations where the deer mice or something take over and eat all of the food in the area. But we do need a little bit more grass in here before I'll feel safe adding in some herbivores, I think. I don't want them to starve over here. The desert willow too. This is always nice. Look at this thing. It's nice and green too, because of course the textures have all been updated. So these look different from the last time that we saw them, and I love the way the trees are painted now. They look so gorgeous. The leaves are really, really nice, and the bark too. I love looking at the bark on the new trees. Of course, once we place the coyotes in here, we've already technically seen the coyotes from the grasslands, but they are also really, really nice to look at. And I figured they would be a pretty good choice for predators in the desert biome, because a lot of you guys have told me that coyotes will pretty much eat anything. So I think they would be a good thing to have if any of our animals go out of control again. They would probably really, really help us because they are not picky eaters. They will certainly eat anything they can get their little paws on. So I think the coyotes are probably a good choice to keep around here. I wonder what can actually eat these little cacti. I wonder what can eat these things. Let's see. We need something with an eats tough buff. So I believe we want to look at these. Okay. Oh my goodness, could a jackrabbit actually eat a cactus? Do you think that is true? Oh my goodness. And then the mule deer, okay, and the pronghorn antelope. Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of it here, so that's interesting, and maybe even the collared peccary too. Okay, so if we do add the deer in, then they may come over and munch on this cactus over here, which isn't a bad thing. That would be quite interesting. So we might want to add a couple more of those cactuses in anyway, just to keep them happy, so we can possibly add like another herd of hooved creatures in here before we leave. Okay, a group of mushrooms has died. That was very quick. Maybe I placed it too close to the water. That might be. I know you can't place plants too close to the water now, but maybe that was just a little bit too close, so they kind of like drowned or something. I'm not sure. But we'll go ahead and place them over here this time so that the detritus levels won't be going out of control anytime soon. And maybe our millipedes can get a little bit close to the water there. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that seemed to work. Okay, so that should be fine. And then we'll place another one over here because we know that the millipedes cannot handle being close to the water, I guess. Not the mushrooms, but the millipedes are okay with that. And our pollinators too. Of course, we need some pollinators in here. Let's get the honeybees over here. Let's put it by our willow tree. I know sometimes I have like some strange trouble placing the honeybees when they're not by trees, and I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. I'm guessing it probably is not. Maybe I'm just being silly, but I do like to place them by the trees anyway because they pop up in this gorgeous tiny leafless tree over here with a little hive on it, so it kind of blends in well when they're near trees anyway. We, of course, will need our ants in here as well, and some moths to help spread all of the grass that we placed in here, and hopefully this cactus as well, because that would be pretty cool if we had tiny little baby cacti popping up all over the place. And let's place one more moth over here by our millipedes, and that should be good. That should cover the entire area. Actually, didn't we have another pollinator in here that we could unlock? I think we may have. Yeah, there we go, the marine blue butterfly. That one looks nice. That reminds me of, oh gosh, was it in the Himalayas or the rainforest where we had a blue butterfly like that? It might have been both, honestly. It might have actually been both. So we can unlock this guy and place him in here too, because this is going to be gorgeous. This nice striking blue butterfly just right in the middle of all of this sand here. That is going to be really nice. There we go. A little splash of color. Okay, Tyto coins. Getting in the way of our butterflies. A nice splash of color for the biome. I think that's going to be very, very nice. And let's see, is there anything else that we need to add over in this area? The ants, of course. I did mention the ants before. We need to make sure that something is scavenging in the area for all of the carcasses that are surely going to pop up in here, especially if we add those coyotes in today. They will definitely need to work at making sure that there's no carcasses and bones and meat lying around. There we go. I think that is good. And the only thing left to do in this biome is to add in the herbivores, I believe. So let's see. What would be the best choice? I think we want to start small first. So we might add in, let's see, maybe not the armadillos because I don't really want them eating away at all of the insects that I just placed in here. We might go with the jackrabbits instead, but these guys reproduce very, very quickly, so we're going to have to keep a very close eye on them. I have a feeling I'm going to regret even doing this. Placing so many little jackrabbits in here. Let's see how the other animals are doing right now, though. The armadillos have 7 left in their group. How many did they drop in with? That is the question. Let's see, they dropped in with 8, so they are doing just fine. It doesn't look like the bobcats are really bothering them too much, though we only have one group of them anyway, so they might not have enough mouths to properly take care of all of these creatures. The jackrabbits are down to 6, which is good to see because they only have 6 weeks left until they reproduce anyway, so they are very likely to go out of control if they have too many in their groups. And actually, one of the bobcats is returning probably from that jackrabbit territory to grab something to eat, and he's coming right back over here to all of these mice. There's 10 mice left in here, so not many of them were actually eaten off. So that is another thing that we really, really want to keep an eye on. Oh, and another jackrabbit territory over here. Okay, there's 12 left in here. So we definitely do need to make sure that we have some more predators in the area to properly control all of these little herbivores that I've already placed in. So let's go ahead and plop the coyote right in the middle of our little cactus land here, right next to the pond of water too, in case they like to fish. So let's place this guy. Let's see, we'll have to check his territory first. It doesn't look like he can actually reach very far. The coyote has a much smaller territory than some of our other predators. So let's see, if we place him closer to the wall, then we can possibly take a larger chunk out of the biome here. The only thing that they can't reach are like all of the insects in the very, very far corner. So that is probably a better location to place this coyote, because he can pretty much make sure that none of the herbivores that we have placed down are going to go out of control, and that is the main concern here. That is definitely the main concern. I hope I didn't place them too close to the wall. I realized that was just a little bit really, really close, but it seems like they're okay. They're enjoying their first little stroll in the desert sand, so that's nice to see. They are really gorgeous. I love the new textures, guys. All of that little fur painted in too is so gorgeous. And he is already on the move. They're both galloping away towards something. This one's going to the jackrabbits. I have a feeling they are going to get a nice meal. Now, there we go. That was quick. That was a very, very quick. So they are certainly doing their job right away too, which is not what we often see. So that is very good. And the armadillos are still doing well, so nothing to worry about there. How many bobcats do we have left anyway? 2. Okay, there's still 2 bobcats in here. So that means that they should be certainly helping us out quite a bit here. And I'm wondering if we should maybe try to place one more group of snakes in here. I mean, if it's just one, then I don't think we're going to have too much of an issue. And of course, they can still help us take care of any herbivores that like to go out of control in this area. We certainly don't want that to happen, so I think I will place one group of snakes in here, though maybe we should do the new snake? I'm not sure. Should we give that a try? It was the coral snake, I believe. There we go. It is, it's poisonous, so only creatures who can eat poisonous animals will be able to destroy that guy, and I think the badgers can, so I don't think we really need to worry about that. I don't think that's going to become too much of an issue. Yeah, there we go. They have the buff that allows them to eat poisonous life forms, so I think we'll be okay if we place snakes nearby them. I'm going to hope that they don't completely obliterate our little snakes, but it should be like a fail-safe just in case something goes really out of control here. We'll place the coral snake down in that area, and I'll take a look at this guy. He should be very brightly colored, right? Yeah, there we go, because of course the brightly colored snakes are typically poisonous. And there's our jackrabbits. They already have low population, but I mean, that's kind of good to see because it does mean that our predators are eating them, and they shouldn't reproduce completely out of control like those snakes before. They should hopefully be under control with our bobcats looming over them and our coyotes as well. These guys are really cool though. I love those colors. Oh my goodness. How about their biodex? We'll take a look at this. It says, coral snakes eat small animals like rodents. They also eat insects and even other snakes. Oh my goodness. I remember somebody told me that one of the snakes actually eats other snakes in the game. So that could be why we were left with just one crazy out of control group of snakes in the last time that we were in the desert biome. And for predators, the coral snake is not a major source of food for any large predator, though it does fall prey to larger snakes. Oh my goodness, I'm going to cross my fingers that this does not mean that we're going to come back to a complete flood of coral snakes, but we are going to keep our eye on them very, very closely. And coral snakes have a black head and black tail. When threatened, it will lift its tail and head at the same time so that would-be predators would be confused about which end is which. Okay, that's quite interesting. So there we go. We know a little bit more about the coral snakes. I actually knew pretty much nothing about coral snakes before, so that is definitely helpful. And this is the group with a low population, though look at that, 1 week left until reproduction, so I really don't think they're going to have much trouble fixing that. In fact, if we stay in the area, just like this bobcat who's kind of lurking around, he kind of heard too that there's some food that's going to be dropping in soon. We should be seeing the little baby bunnies popping into the desert biome. It is becoming daytime, and I believe that's when a week technically passes. So anytime now, we should be seeing all of these little baby bunnies, I think. And of course, the coral snake is coming over here too, and there we go. There's those little baby bunnies, guys. The coral snake is just going straight through without a care in the world. I wonder how many we're going to have. That's always the concern, because I know the bunnies kind of reproduce very quickly, and they give us a lot of babies in one burst here. So we're up to 8 right now. It looks like that's where it stopped. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not as bad as certain other situations that I have seen in this game. So that's okay. And how about these guys? Because they definitely reproduce too. It looks like actually our badger is over here already, munching away at one of the tiny little mice here. So that's good. At least the badger is also taking control of the area, sleeping right next to this little guy. Hopefully you're not gonna mess with our badger. I don't think that would be good for you anyway. Okay, he's moving along. Badgers can be very, very aggressive, so that wouldn't be very good for a coyote to try to pick a fight with a badger, even if he was asleep. And how cute is this? Oh my gosh, the little bobcat is curled up with a mouse, with 2 mice in fact. Okay, maybe not so cute. Curled up underneath this tree here. Oh, he has like all this food over here. Look at this. What is going on here? This is bizarre. He has all of these little carcasses like stashed under this tree, with a huge group of mushrooms under here too, and a ton of mice that are apparently eating the sagebrush because it does not have many leaves left. I just noticed that. It's a little baby sagebrush too, so that one might be disappearing soon if the mice keep eating at this rate, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's very strange. It's almost like it's his little home or something. He kept all of his food there. And the mice were just kind of invading. That's probably why he had so much food there, actually, if he was able to just pick off all of the mice that were flooding the area. But where are you going? You're going nowhere again. These crazy animals. I mean, whenever they run, I think they're actually after something, but sometimes they just want to run for the sake of running, I guess, which is fine. That's completely fine. But I think we're doing good in this biome, guys. I'm really surprised that all of those snakes were taken care of properly. That we don't really have much to worry about anymore, hopefully anyway, as long as these bunnies don't go out of control, because it does look like they are going to reproduce very, very shortly, so we'll have to keep a very close eye on those as well. In fact, the very last thing I might do is place one last group of snakes over here. It's so far away that I don't think we're going to have any troubles with them, possibly overpopulating the area. But we'll give it a try. We'll definitely give it another try. We'll put the rattlesnake over here because it's not it is a venomous creature. Okay, I always get that confused. I want the king snake over here because they are not venomous. They can eat venomous life forms, but they are not venomous themselves. So we're going to place them over here right by the jackrabbits because we know that they like to eat the little bunnies. So if any little baby bunnies come booming out of this territory, then they should be able to slither over and make sure that they don't go completely out of control, which is exactly what we want to see here. So I think we're doing pretty good, and hopefully when we come back to the desert biome later, we will see that we have completely controlled all of those issues. Hopefully these guys won't go out of control either. We'll have to wait and see though. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!